Another violent tremor rocked the ship, nearly throwing them off their feet. Jack grabbed Lena's arm, steadying her. "We need to get to the central core," he said urgently. "If we can establish a direct neural link, maybe we can calm it down." Lena's eyes widened. "That's incredibly dangerous. The raw emotional feedback could overwhelm you, drive you mad." Jack met her gaze, determination etched in every line of his face. "We don't have a choice. If we don't do something, we're all dead anyway." For a moment, Lena hesitated, then with a decisive nod, she took Jack's hand. Together, then, they raced through the ship's corridors, dodging falling debris and panicked crew members. Finally, they reached the central core, a massive, pulsing orb of energy that crackled with barely contained power. "How do we do this?" Jack shouted over the din of alarms and groaning metal. Lena guided his hand to a neural interface panel. "Focus your thoughts, your emotions. The ship will recognize you as the source of its awakening. You need to guide it, show it how to process these new sensations." Jack nodded, taking a deep breath. As his fingers made contact with the panel, his world exploded into light and sensation. He felt the ship's confusion, its fear, its rage, emotions so intense they threatened to tear his mind apart. Gritting his teeth, Jack pushed back with his own emotions. He showed the ship memories of joy, of sorrow, of love and loss. He guided it through the complex tapestry of human feeling, teaching it to embrace the chaos rather than fight against it. Dimly, he was aware of Lena beside him, her consciousness joining his in the neural link. Together, they formed a bridge between human and Tarion, between organic and machine. For what felt like an eternity, they hung suspended in that liminal space, guiding the ship through its emotional awakening. Slowly, gradually, the maelstrom of feelings began to calm. With a final titanic effort, Jack and Lena withdrew from the neural link. They collapsed to the floor, gasping for breath as reality reasserted itself around them. The alarms had fallen silent. The violent tremors had ceased. The ship hummed with a new vitality, its systems pulsing with a steady, controlled rhythm. "We did it," Jack breathed, scarcely able to believe it. Lena's eyes met his, filled with a wonder he'd never seen before. "No, Jack Carter, you did it. You've given us back our future." As the full impact of what had transpired washed over him, Jack felt a surge of emotions he couldn't begin to name. He'd come aboard this ship a jaded, closed-off man, expecting nothing more than a paycheck and a chance to tinker with advanced tech. Instead, he found himself at the center of a revolution, not just for the Tarians, but for himself as well. For the first time in years, he felt truly alive, truly connected to something greater than himself. As Lena's hand found his, Jack realized that his journey was far from over. The Tarians were taking their first tentative steps back toward emotional awakening, and he would be there to guide them every step of the way. Whatever challenges lay ahead, whatever obstacles they might face, Jack knew one thing with absolute certainty: his life would never be the same again. The gentle hum of the ship's engines reverberated through Jack's quarters, a constant reminder of the incredible journey he'd embarked upon. He sat on the edge of his bed, turning a small hollow projector over in his hands. With a flick of his thumb, an image sprang to life. Earth, blue and beautiful, spinning slowly in the void. Jack's chest tightened as he stared at the familiar orb. Home. A place he'd left behind without a second thought, eager for the paycheck and the chance to work with advanced alien tech. Now, it felt like a lifetime ago. A chime at his door startled him from his reverie. "Come in," he called, deactivating the projector. The door slid open, revealing Lena. The Tarion captain's usual composure seemed slightly frayed, a hint of uncertainty in her eyes that Jack found oddly endearing. "Jack," she said, her voice softer than usual. "I hope I'm not disturbing you." He shook his head, gesturing for her to enter. "Not at all. What's on your mind?" Lena hesitated, then stepped inside, allowing the door to close behind her. I wanted to thank you for everything you've done for us. For me." Jack felt a flush of warmth at her words, coupled with a pang of guilt. "I'm not sure I deserve your thanks," he admitted. "I nearly destroyed your ship." "You saved us," Lena countered, moving closer. "Not just from destruction, but from a fate far worse, a life without true feeling." Their eyes met, and Jack felt a jolt of electricity pass between them. The air in the room seemed to thicken, charged with unspoken tension. "Lena," Jack began, his voice hoarse, "I need to know, was any of it real? The connection between us, the emotions, or was it all just part of your experiment? Pain flashed across Lena's features. It was real, she whispered, more real than anything I've experienced in centuries. Before Jack could respond, an alarm blared through the ship. Lena's communicator chirped urgently, Captain Talia's voice crackling through the device. We're picking up an anomalous energy signature. It's like nothing we've ever seen before. Lena's expression hardened, the vulnerable woman of moments ago replaced by the seasoned starship captain. I'm on my way, she replied, then turned to Jack. Will you come? Jack nodded, pushing aside the turmoil of his emotions. Whatever was happening, the ship needed him. He could sort out his feelings later. They raced to the bridge, arriving to find the crew in a state of controlled chaos. Talia stood at the main sensor array, her fingers dancing across the controls. Report, Lena barked, striding to the captain's chair. Talia's eyes were wide with a mix of fear and excitement. The energy signature. It's unlike anything in our database. It seems to be some kind of dimensional rift, but on a scale we've never encountered before. Jack moved to one of the auxiliary stations, scanning the readouts. His breath caught as he took in the magnitude of what they were facing. It's not just a rift, he muttered loud enough for the others to hear. It's a gateway to somewhere else. Lena turned to him, her expression grave. Explain. Jack's fingers flew across the console, bringing up a series of complex equations. Look at these quantum fluctuations, he said, bringing the readings on the main display. They're not random. There's a pattern, a frequency, like it's trying to communicate. Communicate? Lena echoed, her ever-changing eyes fixed on the view screen. With whom? Before Jack could answer, the ship lurched violently. Warning klaxons blared as the lights flickered and died, plunging the bridge into darkness. Emergency power. Lena shouted, her voice steady despite the chaos. Red emergency lighting bathed the bridge in an eerie glow. Jack clung to his station, his mind racing as he tried to make sense of the readings scrolling across his screen. The rift, it's pulling us in, Jack called out. Lena's fingers danced across the arm of her chair, initiating evasive maneuvers. Full reverse thrusters. The ship groaned in protest, straining against the inexorable pull of the anomaly. Jack felt his stomach lurch as artificial gravity fluctuated. It's no use, Talia reported, her voice tight with fear. The gravitational forces are too strong. We're caught in its event horizon. Lena's eyes met Jack's across the bridge, and in that moment, a silent understanding passed between them. Whatever lay beyond that rift, they would face it together. All hands, brace for impact, Lena shouted. Jack closed his eyes, gripping his console tightly as the ship plunged into the unknown. There was a moment of gut-wrenching disorientation, a sensation of being turned inside out and back again, and then suddenly stillness. Slowly, Jack opened his eyes. The view screen before them showed not the swirling chaos of the rift, but a starfield unlike any he'd ever seen. Vast crystalline structures floated in the void, pulsing with inner light. Where are we? Lena breathed, her voice filled with awe. Before anyone could answer, a new presence filled the bridge. It wasn't a physical being, but a sensation, a vast alien consciousness pressing against their minds. Welcome, a voice echoed in Jack's head. We have waited long for your arrival. Lena stood, her posture regal, despite the circumstances. I am Captain Lena of the Tarion exploratory vessel. Who are you, and where have you brought us? The presence seemed to pulse with amusement. We are the architects. This is our realm, the space between spaces. And you, Lena of the Tarians, are the key to our salvation. Jack felt a chill run down his spine. What do you mean, salvation? The alien consciousness turned its attention to him, and Jack felt the weight of eons pressing down on his mind. You, Jack Carter, are an anomaly, a being of pure emotion in a universe grown cold. Through you, we may yet rekindle the fires of creation. Images flooded Jack's mind, vast, incomprehensible vistas of space and time. He saw civilizations rise and fall, galaxies born and die, all in the span of a heartbeat. And through it all ran a creeping entropy, a slow death of feeling and passion that threatened to consume everything. I don't understand, Jack gasped, reeling from the onslaught of information. You will, the architects promised. But first you must choose. Will you help us restore balance to the cosmos, or will you return to your small lives, leaving the universe to its slow demise? As suddenly as it had appeared, the alien consciousness vanished, leaving the bridge in stunned silence. Jack turned to Lena, his mind reeling. What the hell just happened? Lena's eyes were wide, a mix of fear and excitement. I think we've just been recruited to save the universe. Over the next few hours, the crew of the Taran vessel grappled with the magnitude of their situation. They were stranded in an alien realm, faced with a choice that would impact the fate of all existence. The weight of that responsibility hung heavy over them all. Jack found himself in the ship's observation deck, staring out at the crystalline structures that dotted the void. Their pulsing lights seemed to echo the turmoil in his own heart. "It's beautiful, isn't it?" Lena said, joining him. Her eyes were fixed on the alien vista before them. "Beautiful and terrifying," Jack agreed. "What are we going to do?" She was silent for a long moment, her expression thoughtful. "I've lived for over 1,000 years," she said finally. "I've seen wonders beyond imagining, faced dangers that would break lesser beings. But this is beyond anything I could have prepared for." Jack felt a surge of affection for her, mixed with a healthy dose of fear. "You don't have to face it alone," he said softly. Lena's eyes met his, filled with an emotion he couldn't quite name. "No," she agreed. "I don't." Slowly, hesitantly, she reached out. Jack met her halfway, their fingers intertwining. The contact sent a jolt of electricity through him, awakening feelings he'd thought long buried. "Jack," Lena whispered, her voice husky. "I need you to know, whatever happens, whatever we decide, what I feel for you is real. It's more real than anything I've experienced in centuries." Jack's heart raced, his body responding to her proximity in ways he couldn't control. Part of him wanted to give in, to lose himself in the intensity of the moment. But another part, the part that had been hurt before, that had built walls around his heart, held back. "How can I trust that?" he asked, hating the tremor in his voice. "How do I know this isn't just another manipulation?" Lena's hand fell away, and Jack immediately missed its warmth. "You don't," she said simply. "You can only trust your own feelings, Jack. What does your heart tell you?" Before Jack could respond, the alarm blared through the ship again. "Captain," Talia's voice crackled urgently. "We've detected another energy fluctuation, stronger than before." Lena turned, her expression hardening once more. "What is it?" "We need to investigate," Talia replied, her eyes wide. Jack took a deep breath, pushing aside his tumultuous emotions. "I'll help you analyze it," he said, moving toward his console. As they prepared for whatever awaited them, Jack felt the weight of the universe pressing down on him. But alongside that weight was something else, a sense of purpose, a connection with Lena that transcended the chaos surrounding them. Whatever they faced next, they would face it together. With a shared nod, Jack and Lena steeled themselves for the challenges ahead. The future loomed uncertain, but with each other, they felt ready to embrace it. As the ship surged forward into the unknown, Jack glanced at Lena, who met his gaze with unwavering resolve. They had a universe to save, emotions to rekindle, and a bond that could withstand any trial. Together, they would navigate the stars, discovering not just new worlds, but the depths of their own hearts. The journey was just beginning, and for the first time, Jack felt he was exactly where he was meant to be. The ship glided through the vast expanse of the crystalline realm, and Jack felt a mixture of excitement and trepidation. They were explorers now, not just of space but of emotion, a journey that would test the limits of their newfound bond. "Prepare to engage the anomaly," Lena commanded, her voice steady. The crew worked in unison, a newfound camaraderie flowing between them. Jack could feel the weight of responsibility, not just for their survival, but for the fate of the cosmos. As they approached the pulsating energy signature, Jack's heart raced. "I'm picking up on the energy patterns," he said, his fingers flying across the console. "It's almost like a heartbeat." "A heartbeat?" Talia echoed, raising an eyebrow. "What does that mean?" Jack furrowed his brow, focusing intently. "It's rhythmic. If we can synchronize with it, we might harness its energy or even communicate." Lena nodded, determination etched across her features. "Then let's do it. We need to connect." As the ship aligned with the anomaly, Jack felt a familiar tug at his heart, a blend of hope and fear. "Here goes nothing," he murmured, reaching out to the interface. The moment he made contact, a surge of energy coursed through him. Colors exploded in his vision, and emotions he had never known rushed in. He saw flashes of other lives, other worlds, pain, joy, love, and loss all swirling together. "Jack." Lena's voice broke through the chaos, grounding him. "Focus. Remember why we're here. Taking a deep breath, Jack pushed through the maelstrom of feelings. He thought of the crew, of the Terrians awakening to their emotions, and of his connection with Lena. With each thought, he felt the energy pulse more steadily. Now, Lena shouted. Synchronize on my count. Jack closed his eyes, trusting her voice to guide him. 3, 2, 1, now. In that moment, the ship resonated with a powerful energy. Jack felt himself become a conduit, channeling the raw emotion flowing through the anomaly. The Terrians joined him, their own feelings merging with his, creating a harmony that echoed through the cosmos. The ship shuddered as the energy surged, but Lena stood firm, her presence a rock in the storm. Keep it steady, she urged, her eyes locked on Jack's. With each pulse, the anomaly responded, its chaotic nature beginning to calm. Jack sensed the otherworldly consciousness within it, awakening and responding to their collective emotions. It's working, he exclaimed, exhilaration filling him. We're stabilizing it. Suddenly, the presence of the architects returned, more pronounced than ever. You have done well, Guardians, their voice echoed in Jack's mind. But the path ahead is fraught with challenges. You must prove your resolve. What do you mean? Lena asked, her brow furrowed. The balance of the cosmos is delicate, the architects explained. You will face trials that will test the very limits of your newfound emotions and bonds. Jack swallowed hard, the gravity of their situation settling in. What kind of trials? He asked. Challenges that will challenge your trust, your love, and your purpose. Only by overcoming them will you restore the emotional equilibrium of the universe. As the architect's words lingered in the air, the ship shuddered violently, and the view screen flickered with chaotic images, visions of worlds in turmoil, civilizations teetering on the brink of collapse. Jack felt a wave of dread wash over him. We have to act fast, he shouted. What do we do? Lena took a deep breath, her eyes blazing with determination. We need to split up. Each of us can focus on a different crisis. We have to channel our emotions to help them. Jack nodded, adrenaline surging through him. Let's do this. For the Terrians, for the universe. They gathered in the ship's command center, their resolve unbreakable. Jack felt the weight of his new role as a guardian settle on his shoulders, but alongside that weight was a profound sense of purpose. The first crisis flashed before Jack's eyes, a distant planet engulfed in war, its inhabitants lost in a cycle of hatred and despair. I'll take this one, he declared, stepping forward. Be careful, Lena cautioned, her expression grave. Remember, emotions can be powerful, but they can also consume you. I know, Jack replied, steeling himself. But I have to try. With a surge of determination, he focused his thoughts, drawing on his memories of loss and forgiveness. The pain of his past fueled him as he reached out, connecting with the inhabitants of the war-torn world. Feel, he urged, his voice echoing through their minds. Remember the love you once had. Remember what you're fighting for. As Jack channeled his emotions, he felt the tide begin to shift. The warriors hesitated, their anger faltering as memories of joy and connection emerged. But just as he felt hope blossom, a dark shadow loomed. A surge of rage threatened to overwhelm him. No, Jack shouted, pushing against the tide. He thought of Lena, of their bond, and drew strength from it. We can overcome this. Remember who you are. With that thought, the tide began to turn. The cries of war morphed into tears of reconciliation as Jack witnessed the power of emotion transforming the battlefield into a space of healing. Meanwhile, Lena faced a different trial, a world enveloped in despair, its inhabitants paralyzed by fear. She felt their pain as if it were her own, and it tore at her heart. Look within, she urged them, her voice soothing. You are not alone. Your emotions are your strength. Let them guide you. Lena closed her eyes, focusing on the ancient wisdom of her people. She drew upon centuries of experience, channeling the long-dormant feelings that had awakened within her since Jack arrived. Feel the joy of togetherness, she whispered, her heart swelling with hope. Let it break the chains of your despair. Slowly, the energy shifted. The inhabitants began to rise, their eyes lighting up as they remembered their dreams and aspirations. As Jack and Lena faced their respective challenges, the power of their emotions resonated across the cosmos. Each victory ignited a spark, and soon, the fractured worlds began to heal. Back on the ship, Talia and the rest of the crew rallied, channeling their own feelings to amplify Jack and Lena's efforts. Together, they created a network of support, weaving a tapestry of emotion that spanned the universe. "This is incredible," Talia exclaimed, her eyes shining with excitement. "We're making a real difference." Jack felt a sense of fulfillment wash over him. For the first time in his life, he was part of something greater, something meaningful. But just as hope bloomed, a new threat emerged, a dark force that sought to extinguish the rekindled flames of emotion. Jack felt a chill run down his spine as the shadows loomed closer. "Prepare for battle," Lena shouted, her voice cutting through the chaos. "We can't let them take back what we've fought for." Jack nodded, feeling the gravity of their task. "We have to harness everything we've gained. Our love, our hope, our emotions, they're our weapons." With renewed determination, Jack and Lena faced the encroaching darkness, ready to fight for the future of all existence. Together, they would wield the power of connection against the forces that threatened to undo their progress. As the dark force approached, a palpable tension filled the air. Jack stood at the ship's helm, his hands gripping the controls. "We need to unify our emotions to strengthen our defenses," he said, glancing at Lena. "Right? We've come too far to let despair win," Lena replied, her voice resolute. She turned to the crew, rallying them. "Remember the connections we've made. Every act of love, every moment of courage. Let's channel that energy." The crew nodded, their resolve hardening. Jack felt a warmth radiate from his comrades as they joined hands, forming a circle of solidarity. Together, they began to focus their thoughts, drawing on their collective experiences, hopes, and dreams. The shadows coalesced into a formidable form, a dark figure that pulsed with malevolence. It towered over them, its presence suffocating. "You think you can resist me?" It sneered, voice echoing like thunder. "Emotions are weak. They will betray you." Jack felt a chill run down his spine, but he stood firm. "You're wrong. Emotions are our greatest strength. They connect us, fuel us, and make us human." With those words, Jack drew on the memories of the battles they had fought, the friendships they had forged, and the love that had blossomed between him and Lena. A radiant light began to emanate from their circle, pushing back against the encroaching darkness. The dark figure recoiled, momentarily stunned by the sudden burst of light. Jack seized the opportunity. "No. Focus all your energy," he shouted, his heart pounding. Lena closed her eyes, channeling the collective emotions of the crew. "Feel the joy, the love, the hope. Let it flow." As their energies intertwined, the ship pulsed with a vibrant aura. Jack felt the power surge within him, a force that transcended fear and despair. Together, they unleashed a wave of emotion that crashed against the darkness, illuminating the shadows. The dark figure writhed, struggling against the tide of emotions. "You think you can defeat me? I am despair incarnate," it bellowed, its voice shaking the ship. "Despair has no power over us," Lena cried, her voice a beacon of strength. "We've faced our fears and emerged stronger." Jack felt the bond with Lena deepen, and he took a step forward. "You may thrive on suffering, but we are not defined by our pain. We choose to rise to heal." As they spoke, the light intensified, a brilliant beacon cutting through the dark. The energy swirled around them, forming a protective barrier as they pushed forward. With one final surge of energy, Jack and Lena reached deep into their hearts, igniting the love they had discovered within themselves and the crew. Together, they shouted in unison. The resulting explosion of light engulfed the dark figure, its form beginning to dissipate. The shadows shrieked, a cacophony of fear and anger echoing in the void. "No, this can't be," it howled, the darkness fracturing under the weight of their collective emotion. Jack felt an overwhelming sense of hope as he watched the dark figure begin to disintegrate, its hold in the cosmos slipping away. "We've got this. Just a little more." With one final push, the darkness shattered, scattering like ashes in the wind. A serene calm washed over the ship, the crew letting out breaths they hadn't realized they were holding. "We did it," Talia exclaimed, her eyes shining. "We really did it." Jack and Lena exchanged a glance, the weight of their journey settling around them like a warm embrace. Together, Lena whispered, a smile breaking across her face. But as they reveled in their victory, the architect's voice resonated once more. "Guardians, you have proven your worth. But know this, the cosmos is vast, and your journey has only just begun." The crew gathered on the bridge, a sense of anticipation buzzing in the air. Jack felt a newfound sense of purpose swelling within him. "What's next for us?" he asked, looking at Lena. The universe is filled with challenges and wonders, Lena replied. We've opened a path for others to follow. We must continue to explore, to heal, and to share the power of our emotions. As the ship powered up, Jack couldn't help but feel excited about the adventures that awaited them. Let's do this together, he said, his heart swelling with hope. Together, the crew echoed, a chorus of unity that rang through the ship. With their course set, the ship launched into the depths of space, the stars twinkling like beacons of possibility. Jack felt the thrill of exploration coursing through him, a feeling he had longed for since the beginning of their journey. We've forged bonds that can't be broken, he said, glancing at each member of the crew. We're more than just a team, we're family. As they traveled through the cosmos, new worlds appeared on the view screen, each one promising its own stories, trials, and triumphs. Their first stop was a planet shrouded in mist, its surface alive with vibrant colors. What do you think we'll find? Talia asked, her curiosity piqued. Possibilities, Lena replied, her eyes sparkling. Every world has its own emotions, its own history. Jack felt the excitement bubble within him. Let's see what we can discover. We're here to help, to connect, and to learn. As they descended, Jack looked out at the unknown below, ready to embrace whatever awaited them. This was just the beginning of their journey, a tapestry of emotions yet to be woven. As they touched down, Jack stepped onto the lush terrain, the air thick with potential. He could feel the pulse of the planet beneath his feet, a rhythm that echoed the heartbeat of life itself. Stay alert, Lena advised, scanning their surroundings. Let's be ready for anything. The crew ventured forward, exploring the vibrant flora and fauna, but Jack sensed something deeper, a longing, a need for connection from the very essence of the planet. Let's not just explore the surface, he said. Let's listen to what this world has to say. Lena smiled, nodding in agreement. Together, we can bridge the gap between our worlds. As the crew moved deeper into the lush terrain, Jack could hear the soft rustle of leaves and the gentle hum of life surrounding them. It felt as if the planet itself was alive, whispering secrets and stories from ages past. Do you feel that? Talia asked, her eyes wide with wonder. It's like the very air is charged with emotion. Jack nodded, sensing the energy flowing through the environment. Let's find a way to connect with it. Maybe there's a way to communicate. Lena stepped forward, her expression thoughtful. We should focus on our feelings and intentions. If this planet can feel us, perhaps we can reach out. The crew formed a circle, each member closing their eyes to center themselves. Jack felt the warmth of Lena's hand in his, grounding him. Let's channel our emotions, our hopes for this planet, he encouraged. Together, they reached deep within, recalling their individual journeys, the triumphs, the losses, the connections forged. As they focused, a bright light began to shimmer around them, illuminating the surrounding foliage. The air thickened with an otherworldly resonance, as if the very essence of the planet was responding to their call. Suddenly, a surge of energy burst forth from the ground, wrapping around them like a warm embrace. Jack opened his eyes, astonished to see tendrils of light emerging from the earth, weaving through the air like ribbons. What is this? He murmured, captivated. It's responding to our emotions, Lena said, her voice a mix of awe and excitement. It wants to connect. As the light danced around them, Jack could feel the planet's essence intertwining with their own. It was as if their hearts beat in unison, forming a bond that transcended words. From the depths of the light, images began to materialize, vivid scenes of ancient beings, their faces filled with joy, sorrow, and hope. Jack realized they were witnessing the planet's history, its struggles and celebrations. It's showing us its story, Talia whispered, eyes wide. It wants us to understand. Jack's heart ached as he saw visions of a once thriving civilization, now faded into memory. He could sense the love and resilience that had once flourished here, now dulled by isolation. We can help revive that spirit, Lena declared, determination in her voice. We need to share our emotions, our experiences, to inspire them. The crew gathered their strength, channeling their collective memories into a radiant beam of light that shot into the sky. Let's show this planet it's not alone, Jack shouted, his heart racing. As the beam reached the heavens, it reverberated, creating ripples that echoed throughout the landscape. Jack felt a response from the earth, a powerful surge of life that coursed through the ground and into their feet. The planet was awakening. Gradually, the environment around them began to transform. Flowers bloomed with vibrant colors, and the air filled with the sweet scent of renewal. Creatures of all shapes and sizes emerged from hiding, drawn to the energy of the light. "Look!" Talia exclaimed, pointing to a nearby grove. "They're responding." Jack watched as small beings, resembling the very essence of the planet, approached with curiosity. Their eyes sparkled with recognition, as if they sensed the bond that had been forged. Lena knelt down, extending her hand. "We come in peace and with love," she said softly. One of the small beings stepped forward, its form shimmering with an ethereal glow. It gently placed a hand on Lena's palm, and a wave of emotion flooded through her. Jack felt it too, a rush of gratitude, hope, and a deep longing for connection. "It's trying to communicate," he said, his voice filled with wonder. Through their connection, they began to understand the planet's plight. It had been isolated for too long, cut off from the universe, its emotions stifled and dormant. "We can help you reconnect," Jack promised, his heart swelling with determination. "Together, we can awaken the universe." As the crew shared their stories, the beings listened intently, absorbing every word. Jack could see the glimmer of understanding in their eyes as they realized they were not alone in their struggles. The bond between them deepened, creating a network of shared emotions and experiences. "We will become allies," Lena declared, her voice filled with conviction. "Together, we will spread our message across the cosmos." Jack felt a surge of pride and hope. Let's show the universe the power of connection. With renewed purpose, Jack and the crew began to collaborate with the planet's inhabitants, creating plans to share their emotions and stories throughout the galaxy. They would embark on a mission to unite worlds, to rekindle the fires of passion and empathy. As they prepared for their next adventure, Jack felt a sense of belonging he had never known before. "This is just the beginning," he said, glancing at Lena, whose eyes sparkled with excitement. "Wherever we go, we'll face it together," she replied, squeezing his hand. With their ship revitalized and ready for the journey ahead, Jack and the crew set their course for the stars. As they soared into the cosmos, the vast expanse awaited them, filled with possibilities and the promise of new connections. Jack stood at the helm, heart full of hope. "Let's make this universe a place where emotions thrive," he declared, looking back at his crew. As they ventured into the unknown, he couldn't shake the feeling that their journey would not only change them, but the very fabric of existence itself. As the ship glided through the stars, Jack felt the weight of their mission pressing on him. The ship's bridge buzzed with energy as crew members worked diligently to establish a communication network with other worlds. "Jack," Talia called, her fingers flying over the controls. "I'm detecting signals from nearby planets. They're curious about our presence." "Let's reach out," Jack replied, a surge of excitement coursing through him. "We can start building connections right away." Lena stepped beside him, her expression resolute. "We need to show them the strength of our alliance and the power of emotions. Let's prepare a message that conveys our mission." With the communication system in place, the crew transmitted their message across the cosmos. Jack felt a rush of anticipation as they awaited responses. Moments later, a flickering image appeared on the view screen. A group of beings, their forms radiant and vibrant, filled the space. "We are the Nari," one being spoke, its voice resonating with warmth. "We have felt the shift in the cosmos. What do you see?" Lena stepped forward, her voice steady. "We are here to unite emotions and awaken the connections between our worlds. We want to rekindle the fires of passion that have dimmed over time." The Nari exchanged glances, their expressions filled with curiosity. "We have long felt the void of isolation," another Nari replied. "Your message resonates with us. Together, we can revive what has been lost." Jack felt a thrill of hope. "Let's work together to share our stories and experiences. We can create a network that transcends the stars." As discussions flowed, plans began to form. The Nari proposed a gathering of worlds, a convergence where beings could share their emotions and learn from one another. Days passed as the crew and the Nari prepared for the gathering. Excitement buzzed through the ship, mingling with the vibrant energy of the Nari. They designed a space for the event, a floating amphitheater that would serve as a conduit for emotional exchange. On the day of the gathering, beings from various worlds arrived, their diverse forms reflecting the beauty of their respective cultures. Jack looked around, amazed at the kaleidoscope of colors and emotions that filled the amphitheater. Lena's hand found his. "This is incredible," she whispered, a shining in her eyes. "We're witnessing the rebirth of connection." The gathering began with individuals sharing their stories, tales of joy, sorrow, triumph, and loss. Each narrative wove a tapestry of emotion, resonating with the audience. Jack took a deep breath as it was his turn. Stepping forward, he shared his journey, the struggles he faced before finding purpose with the Tarians and the Nari. As he spoke, he felt the energy of the crowd shift, their emotions intertwining with his own. "I thought I was alone," he confessed. "But through connection, I found family. We all have a place in this universe, and together, we can ignite a spark that will illuminate even the darkest corners." As Jack finished, a wave of applause filled the amphitheater, echoing with approval and resonance. The air shimmered with vibrant energy as beings began to share their own experiences, creating a symphony of emotions that transcended language. Lena stood beside him, her eyes glistening with tears. "You've touched them, Jack," she said softly. "This is what we came here to do." The atmosphere was charged with excitement as friendships blossomed between worlds. Laughter and tears mingled, creating a rich tapestry of connection that spread throughout the gathering. As the event continued, Jack felt an overwhelming sense of belonging wash over him. The barriers that once separated them began to dissolve, replaced by a powerful bond of unity. One being, a radiant creature from a distant world, approached Jack. "You have opened our hearts," it said, its voice melodic. "We have long forgotten how to feel. Thank you for reminding us." Jack smiled, his heart swelling with joy. "This is just the beginning. Together, we will spread this message throughout the cosmos." Later that evening, as the stars twinkled above, Jack and Lena found a quiet moment away from the festivities. They stood on a balcony overlooking the amphitheater, filled with the sounds of celebration. "It feels like we're part of something truly monumental," Lena said, her gaze fixed on the night sky. "A new chapter for the universe." Jack nodded, taking in the moment. "I never imagined I'd find this. Connection, purpose, love. It's all so much more than I ever dreamed." Lena turned to him, her expression earnest. "Whatever happens next, we'll face it together. We're stronger as one." As the gathering continued, the Nari approached Jack and Lena with a proposition. "We must explore further, reach more worlds. Will you join us in this quest?" Jack felt a surge of excitement. "Absolutely. We can't stop now. There's so much more to discover." With Lena by his side, they agreed to become ambassadors of emotion, traversing the stars to unite beings everywhere. The next morning, the crew prepared to set off once more. Jack stood at the helm, a sense of purpose radiating through him. "Let's chart a course for the next system," he instructed. As the ship soared into the cosmos, Jack felt the weight of responsibility settle comfortably on his shoulders. They were not just explorers. They were guardians of emotion and connection. With Lena beside him, Jack knew their journey would transcend the stars, lighting the way for countless beings searching for their own sense of belonging. As they charted their course, the crew gathered in the command center, anticipation buzzing in the air. Jack stood at the front, addressing them. "We're not just exploring, we're rekindling emotions and connections. Every world we visit has its own story to share." Lena nodded, her enthusiasm palpable. "We'll document our findings and create a database of experiences, emotions, and cultures. This knowledge will help us in our mission." Talia chimed in, "I've already started scanning for potential systems with life signs. We should be ready for contact soon." Hours later, they approached a vibrant star system, its planets swirling in hues of green and blue. Jack felt a flutter of excitement. "This looks promising. Let's make first contact." As they entered orbit around the third planet, Jack studied the readings. "Life signs detected. Let's send a message and introduce ourselves." They transmitted their greeting, and within moments a response came through. The voice on the comm was melodic, filled with curiosity. "We are the Starfarers. We welcome you to our world." The crew descended to the planet's surface in a sleek shuttle, Jack and Lena at the forefront. As they stepped out, they were greeted by an astonishing sight. Vast fields of luminescent flora and fauna shimmering in the twilight. A group of starfarers approached, their forms ethereal and graceful. "Welcome, travelers," one of them said, its voice a soothing melody. "We have sensed your arrival and the energy you bring." Lena stepped forward, her heart racing. "We're here to share stories and emotions, to forge connections that transcend the stars." The starfarers invited them to a grand festival celebrating their cultural heritage. Colorful lights adorned the landscape as music filled the air, resonating with joy and harmony. As they joined the festivities, Jack marveled at the vibrancy around him. The starfarers shared their dances, their songs, each expression rich with emotion. He felt a connection forming, a bond that transcended their differences. Lena laughed, her joy infectious. This is incredible. It's like we're part of their family already. Later in the evening, Jack found himself sitting with a group of starfarers around a glowing fire. They began to share their stories, tales of love, loss, and resilience. One starfarer, with shimmering wings, spoke of a time when their emotions had dimmed, leading to a period of isolation. But we learned to embrace our feelings again, it said. Your arrival has reignited that spark. Jack nodded, feeling a sense of purpose. That's why we're here. Together, we can foster understanding and connection. As the night deepened, the starfarers revealed ancient scrolls filled with wisdom about emotions and the cosmos. They spoke of a prophecy foretelling the arrival of beings who would help restore balance. Jack listened intently, captivated by the tales. Do you think we're part of that prophecy? He asked. The starfarer smiled knowingly. Perhaps. The cosmos has a way of bringing together those destined to create change. As the festival continued, Jack and Lena found themselves wandering through the bioluminescent fields, hand in hand. This feels like a dream, Lena said softly, gazing at the vibrant colors around them. Jack smiled, feeling the warmth of her presence. It's a reality we're creating together. Each world we visit adds to our story. Lena turned to him, her expression serious yet tender. Whatever happens, Jack, I'm grateful for this journey with you. He squeezed her hand, his heart swelling with emotion. Me too. We're stronger together. The next morning, the starfarers invited them to participate in a ceremony to honor their new alliance. This is more than a friendship. It's a bond that will strengthen both our peoples, the starfarer explained. Jack felt honored to be part of such a sacred moment. We'll share this experience with others, showing the power of unity and connection. The ceremony involved a ritual where they exchanged tokens of their cultures, symbolizing their commitment to one another. During the ceremony, Lena presented a beautifully crafted pendant, glowing with a soft light. This represents the light of emotions that we all share, she said. May it serve as a reminder of our bond. The starfarers accepted the gift with reverence, and in return, they gifted Jack and Lena a crystal that pulsed with energy. This is a piece of our essence. It will guide you on your journey. As they prepared to leave the starfarers' world, Jack felt a bittersweet pang. We formed something truly special here, he said, looking at the vibrant landscape one last time. Lena nodded, her eyes shining with unshed tears. We'll carry this experience with us, spreading the light we've ignited. As the ship ascended into the starry sky, Jack gazed out at the planets below. He knew they were just beginning to scratch the surface of what was possible in this vast universe. Back on the ship, as they plotted their next course, an alarm blared suddenly. Talia turned to Jack, her expression tense. We're picking up an unknown energy signature approaching fast. Jack's heart raced. What kind of energy? It's unstable, and it's heading straight for us, Talia exclaimed. Before they could react, the ship lurched violently, and the view screen flickered. A swirling mass of energy appeared before them, crackling with chaotic power. Jack felt a wave of fear wash over him. Hold steady, he shouted, gripping the console. We need to analyze it. Lena rushed to his side, her eyes determined. We can't let this destabilize what we've just built. As the energy signature surged closer, Jack and the crew scrambled to contain the chaotic force. Talia, rear out power to the shields, Jack ordered. The ship shook as the energy wave struck, testing their defenses. Jack focused, channeling his emotions into the controls, feeling the ship resonate with his determination. Stay with me, everyone, he urged, rallying the crew. We've faced challenges before. We can do this. Drawing on the power of emotions they had recently awakened, Jack and Lena worked in unison. Feel it, Jack, Lena said, her voice steady amidst the chaos. Channel your feelings, joy, love, hope. Together, they reached out to the energy, attempting to communicate with it rather than fight against it. Jack poured everything he had into their efforts, sending waves of emotion toward the chaotic force. Slowly, the energy began to stabilize, responding to their connection. Jack felt the ship resonate with the emotions they shared, creating a bridge between their world and the chaotic force. It's calming, Talia shouted, eyes wide with astonishment. We're reaching it. Lena's voice joined Jack's as they continued to guide the energy, working together to weave a tapestry of understanding. We can turn this into something positive. With one final push, Jack and Lena channel their combined energy, and the chaotic force transformed into a shimmering light, a beautiful, radiant entity. Jack gasped, feeling the overwhelming wave of emotions as the energy settled. We did it. We've turned chaos into harmony. The entity pulsed with light, emanating a soothing presence. Thank you, travelers. It resonated, its voice echoing within their minds. You have restored balance. I am now a guardian of emotion. Lena beamed, joy radiating from her. Together, we can protect the cosmos. With their new ally by their side, Jack felt a renewed sense of purpose. Let's continue our mission. There are many more worlds to connect and inspire. As they charted a new course, Jack turned to Lena, his heart swelling with affection. I couldn't have done this without you. You give me strength. Lena smiled, her eyes sparkling. And you inspire me to embrace my emotions. Together, we can change the universe. With a guardian of emotion now part of their crew, they set their sights on the next star system. Jack felt the ship hum with excitement, echoing the thrill of new adventures to come. Where to next? Talia asked, looking at the star map. Jack grinned, feeling the weight of possibilities. Let's head toward the Lumina cluster. I sense there are more worlds waiting for us to inspire and connect. As the ship surged forward into the vastness of space, Jack couldn't help but feel an overwhelming sense of hope. They were not just travelers. They were catalysts of change, igniting the spark of connection across the universe. With Lena by his side and their new ally guiding them, he knew their journey had only just begun. The cosmos awaited, filled with stories yet to unfold. As the ship sped toward the Lumina cluster, Jack stood at the observation deck, captivated by the mesmerizing colors of the nebula. Swirls of violet and gold danced against the backdrop of stars, creating a breathtaking tapestry. Isn't it beautiful? Lena joined him, her eyes reflecting the cosmic hues. It's like the universe is alive. Jack nodded, feeling the thrill of exploration pulse through him. Every corner of this galaxy holds potential. I can't wait to see what awaits us. Upon entering the Lumina cluster, their sensors picked up several life signs on a nearby planet. The team prepared for descent, excitement coursing through them. As they landed on the vibrant world, the atmosphere was charged with energy. Colorful bioluminescent plants illuminated their path, casting an otherworldly glow. Let's make a good first impression, Jack said, leading the way. As they approached a gathering of Lemnians, ethereal beings with glowing skin and flowing forms, the air crackled with anticipation. The Lemnians communicated through light and sound, harmonizing in a melodic symphony. One stepped forward, radiating warmth. Welcome, travelers of the stars. We are the Lemnians, guardians of light and emotion. Lena stepped forward, her voice steady. We come in peace, seeking to share our stories and experiences. The Lemnians invited them to a grand festival, celebrating the power of emotions through light. As night fell, the sky transformed into a canvas of color, with beams of light dancing through the air. Jack marveled at the spectacle. This is incredible. It's like we're witnessing their feelings in real time. Lena smiled, her spirit uplifted. Let's participate. We can show them the power of our emotions too. As the festival progressed, the Lemnians began to share their stories through intricate light displays. Each pattern told tales of love, joy, and resilience, shimmering with energy. Jack and Lena exchanged glances, feeling inspired. We should do the same, Jack suggested. Let's share our own experiences through our emotions. They created a light show, drawing from their journey, their triumphs and challenges, the bonds they forged with the Starfarers and their new guardian. The Lemnians watched intently, their eyes filled with wonder. The vibrant colors of their display resonated with the audience, creating a deep connection. One luminarian stepped forward, its voice echoing in harmony. Your light speaks of hope and unity. It resonates within us, reminding us of our shared journey. Lena beamed, her heart swelling with joy. That's the power of emotions. They connect us all. As the festivities continued, the Lemnians suddenly grew somber. We face a grave challenge. One of the elders spoke. An imbalance threatens our realm. Dark energy is spreading, disrupting our harmony. Jack's expression turned serious. We can help. We've faced chaos before. Together, we can restore balance. The Lemnians led Jack and Lena to the edge of their glowing city, where a swirling mass of dark energy loomed ominously. This darkness feeds on fear and despair, the elder explained. It grows stronger with each passing moment. Talia joined them, eyes wide with concern. We'll need to combine our strengths. Our emotions can counteract this darkness. Jack, Lena, Talia, and the Leminians formed a circle, channeling their emotions together. Jack closed his eyes, focusing on love, hope, and unity. Lena's presence beside him was grounding, her energy amplifying his resolve. Let's send out a wave of light, Lena urged. We can purify this darkness. As they unleashed their combined emotions, a brilliant light erupted from their circle, illuminating the area. The dark energy began to writhe and twist, resisting their efforts. Keep pushing, Jack shouted, his heart racing. We can't let it win. The Leminians responded with a harmonious chant, their voices blending with Jack and Lena's energy. The light intensified, pushing back against the darkness. The core of the dark energy began to pulse violently, and Jack realized it was feeding off their fears. Focus on the positive, he yelled. Think of everything we've overcome. Each member of their group shared a personal triumph, recalling moments of joy and love. The light around them grew stronger, resonating with their memories. With one final push, they unleashed a wave of radiant energy, engulfing the darkness. Jack felt the strain but also the exhilaration of connection. The dark energy shrieked and began to dissipate, replaced by a cascade of light. As the darkness faded, a sense of calm enveloped the area, and the Leminians erupted in joyous celebration. With the darkness banished, the Leminians expressed their gratitude. You have restored our balance and reignited our light. We will forever be connected. Lena smiled, her heart full. This experience has strengthened us all. We're united in our mission. As the crew prepared to leave the Lumina cluster, Jack felt a sense of fulfillment. They had not only formed alliances, but had also faced darkness and emerged victorious. Where to next? Talia asked, her excitement palpable. Jack grinned, looking at Lena and their new Luminarian friends. Let's head to the glimmering expanse. I sense there's more light to share and connections to forge. With a renewed sense of purpose, they charted their course toward the glimmering expanse. Jack felt the ship surge with energy, echoing the optimism that filled him. As they ventured deeper into the cosmos, he knew that together, they could face any challenge and inspire countless worlds. Here's to new adventures, Jack said, raising a toast with the crew. Together, we'll illuminate the universe. Sure. Let's continue the story as Jack and his crew venture into new territories. The ship sailed smoothly through the glimmering expanse, a vast region of space filled with sparkling dust and luminous gas clouds. As they glided, the cosmos seemed to hum with energy, a melody that resonated deep within Jack's heart. Look at that, Lena pointed out at the swirling colors. It's breathtaking. Jack smiled, sharing her awe. Every star holds a story. I can't wait to see what we discover here. As they navigated through the expanse, their sensors detected an unusual energy signature from a nearby planet. It pulsed rhythmically, drawing them closer. We should investigate, Talia suggested, her fingers dancing across the controls. It could be a new civilization. Jack nodded, excitement building. Set a course. Let's see what awaits us. Upon landing, they were greeted by lush landscapes and towering crystalline structures that sparkled under the warm sun. The air was alive with vibrant colors, and the atmosphere was charged with anticipation. Welcome to Eldoria, a voice called out, and they turned to see a group of beings with shimmering skin and elongated features approaching them. We are the Eldorians, guardians of this realm. The Eldorians invited Jack and his crew to their council hall, a stunning structure woven with light and energy. As they entered, the council members regarded them with curiosity and reverence. Why have you come to our world? One of the elders inquired, her voice melodic. We seek to learn and share our experiences, Lena replied, her gaze steady. Together, we can create a brighter future. The council listened intently as Jack recounted their journey, emphasizing the importance of emotions and connections. However, he could sense an underlying tension among the Eldorians. One elder spoke up, Our realm has been threatened by dark energy, much like what you faced before. We have been unable to counter it. Jack exchanged glances with Lena and Talia. We can help. Our experience might provide the insight you need. The elders explained that the darkness was slowly encroaching on their vibrant world, consuming the light and hope that sustained their people. We have tried to combat it, but our efforts have only made it stronger. Jack felt a surge of determination. Together, we can unite our strengths. We'll channel our emotions to drive the darkness away. The council agreed to hold a ritual to amplify their collective emotions. They gathered in a sacred grove, surrounded by luminescent flora that pulsed with energy. Let's connect our hearts and minds, Lena suggested, placing her hand on Jack's. We'll form a bridge of light. The Eldorians joined them, forming a circle, each individual radiating hope and strength. As they focused their energy, the air around them began to shift. Dark clouds rolled in, swirling ominously above the grove. Jack could feel the weight of the darkness pressing down, but he also felt the warmth of Lena's hand. Stay strong, he encouraged the group. We are in this together. With a deep breath, Jack initiated the connection. He channeled his memories, love, joy, and the thrill of discovery into a brilliant light that surged forth from their circle. The Eldorians followed suit, their emotions intertwining with his. The darkness roared in defiance, swirling violently. Jack felt a wave of fear wash over him, but Lena's grip steadied him. Remember why we fight, she shouted, and the group pressed on. As they combined their efforts, a ray of pure light shot up toward the dark clouds. It pierced through the darkness, illuminating the grove and pushing the shadows back. Keep it up, Talia yelled, her voice filled with resolve. We're almost there. Jack concentrated harder, envisioning a future free from despair, a world where emotions could thrive. The darkness began to recede, revealing the beauty of Eldoria beneath. With a surge of collective strength, they unleashed their full emotional power. The light expanded, engulfing the darkness in a brilliant explosion of color and energy. The dark clouds writhed one last time before dissipating, leaving the grove bathed in radiant light. A sense of peace settled over them, and the Eldorians erupted in joyful cheers. The council thanked Jack and his crew for their bravery and determination. You have saved our realm. The light of our emotions will flourish once more, an elder proclaimed. To celebrate their victory, the Eldorians hosted a grand feast, filled with laughter, music, and stories. Jack felt a deep sense of belonging as he shared tales of their adventures with his new friends. As the festivities continued, Jack and Lena spoke with the Eldorian leaders about forming an alliance. Together, we can protect our realms and share the power of emotion, Jack proposed. The council agreed, recognizing the strength in unity. We will stand together against any darkness that threatens our worlds. As they prepared to leave, Jack felt a bittersweet twinge. We've forged incredible connections here, he said, looking at Lena. I'll miss this place. Lena smiled warmly, her eyes shining. But we'll carry this experience with us. It's a part of who we are now. With a course set for their next destination, the ship departed from Eldoria, leaving behind a realm filled with renewed hope and friendship. Jack stood at the helm, feeling the weight of his newfound purpose. Whatever comes next, we're ready, he said, glancing at Lena, who stood beside him, a beacon of light and strength. Together, they looked out at the endless expanse of stars, knowing their journey was far from over. The cosmos awaited, full of stories yet to be told. As the ship cruised through the starry expanse, a mysterious energy signature flickered on their sensors. Jack's heart raced with curiosity. What do you think it is? Talia asked, her fingers dancing over the controls. Jack exchanged a glance with Lena. Only one way to find out. Let's investigate. They approached an abandoned outpost orbiting a desolate planet. The structure appeared battered, as if it had withstood a great storm. Scan for life signs, Lena ordered, her eyes narrowed with focus. Talia nodded, and the readings came back negative. It looks deserted, but there's a strong energy source inside. Let's suit up and explore, Jack suggested, excitement bubbling within him. Once inside the outpost, they were greeted by remnants of technology and flickering lights. Dust hung in the air, and Jack felt a chill run down his spine. Looks like no one's been here in ages, Lena observed, her voice echoing in the empty halls. They moved cautiously, Jack's senses heightened. Suddenly, a holographic interface activated, displaying fragmented logs. The hologram showed an old, weary captain speaking. If you find this message, know that the energy here is unstable. We tried to harness its power, but it consumed us. Beware the dark force. Jack felt a wave of unease. We should be careful. This energy could be dangerous. Lena nodded, her brow furrowed in thought. We need to figure out what happened here. The group continued to explore, uncovering scattered data logs that detailed experiments with energy manipulation. Each entry hinted at growing instability and madness among the crew. Whatever they were trying to do, it went horribly wrong, Talia said, her voice tense. Let's find that energy source, Jack urged. We need to see if it poses a threat. They made their way to the central chamber, where a pulsating orb of energy floated above a complex array of machinery. It emitted a low hum, vibrating through the air. This must be it, Jack breathed, mingling with caution. But it feels alive. Lena stepped closer, entranced. It's beautiful, but we need to be careful. We don't know how it will react. As Jack reached out to touch the orb, a surge of energy shot through him, visions flooding his mind, dreams of creation and destruction, beauty and terror. He gasped, pulling back. It's overwhelming, he exclaimed. We have to stabilize it before it destabilizes us. Lena joined him at the control panel, her focus sharp. Let's redirect its energy flow. We can use our combined abilities to stabilize it. Jack nodded, feeling the connection between them. Together, they synchronized their efforts, guiding the energy back into a controlled state. Just as they thought they had succeeded, the atmosphere shifted. A dark energy began to swirl around them, echoing the captain's warning. Jack, Talia shouted, pointing at a shadowy figure emerging from the orb. We need to get out of here. Lena's voice was steady. No, we can't let it take over. We need to confront it. Jack felt a surge of determination. Together, we can face this. He focused on channeling his emotions, feeling Lena's strength beside him. As the dark presence loomed, he shouted, We won't let you consume us. The energy surged, battling against the darkness. Lena's hand squeezed his, a powerful anchor amidst the chaos. The room vibrated with tension as the light and dark clashed. Jack poured everything he had into the struggle, his memories, hopes, and dreams. We can't give in, he yelled, pushing back against the darkness. We fight for the light. With renewed resolve, Lena joined Jack in channeling their energy. Feel the emotions, Jack. Let them flow. As they merged their strength, a brilliant light erupted, pushing the dark presence back, revealing the true nature of the energy within. As the light engulfed the dark entity, Jack saw visions of the outpost's crew, lost and corrupted by their own ambitions. The darkness dissolved, revealing the sadness and regret beneath. They were just trying to create, Jack murmured, compassion washing over him. We can't let their mistakes be in vain. With a final surge of energy, Jack and Lena restored balance to the orb. The darkness dissipated completely, leaving behind a harmonious glow. We did it, Talia cheered, a mix of relief and exhilaration. Lena turned to Jack, her eyes shining. We faced the darkness together. With the outpost now stable, Jack knew they had a choice. We can't leave this energy unguarded. We should establish a research team to ensure it's never misused again. The Eldorian's wisdom echoed in his mind. We can help those who seek to harness energy without falling into darkness. As they prepared to leave, Jack took one last look at the outpost. It was a lesson in humility and strength. Lena stepped beside him, and a reminder that together we can face anything. With a sense of purpose, they boarded the ship, ready to carry their mission forward. As they set their course for home, Jack felt the weight of their responsibilities. But now he was ready to face the future. Whatever lies ahead, we'll navigate it together, he declared, glancing at Lena. She smiled, a light in her eyes. Together always. Let me know if you'd like to keep going or explore a different direction in their journey.